Do you think dogs are naturally forgiving? Not exactly. Picture this. You just walked into the house. Your puppy rushes over, tail wagging excitedly, and you don't even look at it. Just one small action like that, but to a dog, it could be a wound that never heals. How many times have you unintentionally hurt your dog, without even realizing it? In this video, you'll discover 16 things dogs never forgive, and why seemingly harmless mistakes can actually shatter the trust your dog has in you. Don't look away, because number 14 might be the reason your dog no longer cuddles with you at night. Section 1: Not establishing a consistent routine. You might be surprised to learn, for dogs, nothing is scarier than unpredictability from the very person they love most. Dogs live by rhythm, the rhythm of meals, walks, and waiting for you to come home. It's their only way of creating a sense of safety in a world full of strange things, from vacuum noises and cars to being led around on a leash. When you give your dog a steady routine, you're telling them, everything is okay, you're safe. On the other hand, if their daily routine keeps changing, your dog will start living in a state of alertness and anxiety, never knowing what's coming next. Don't let the unpredictability of your day turn your dog's world into an invisible storm. Is your routine consistent? Try sharing your dog's favorite moment of the day, maybe their usual yard time. But if you think hugging your dog tightly every day is the best way to show love, what comes next might surprise you. Section 2: Hugging your dog too much. You think a hug is a sign of affection? To a dog, it might feel more like a headlock. Dogs don't hug each other. In the canine world, the closest thing to a hug is when one dog mounts another during a confrontation. So when you wrap your arms tightly around your dog, even with all the love in your heart, their brain doesn't register it as affection. It feels like restraint, like being held down. Some dogs learn to tolerate it, but deep down, they're afraid, and that fear grows a little more with every just one more hug. Don't let your loving embrace become the reason your dog starts to flinch at your gaze. Does your dog enjoy being hugged? Or does it turn its head away when you come close? But if you've ever woken your dog up just to give it a hug, the next consequence could be even more serious. Section 3: Waking your dog up suddenly. You think you're gently petting them? But to a dog, you've just become a stranger attacking in their sleep. Sleep is when dogs are at their most vulnerable. This is especially true for those who were once strays, abandoned, or raised in shelters. Their defensive instincts are heightened during rest. When you suddenly touch them while they're fast asleep, a sleep startle reflex can kick in. The dog jolts awake, doesn't recognize you, and might react instinctively, even by biting. The consequence? Not just an unexpected nip, but possibly a deep crack in the bond between you and your dog that may never fully heal. Don't let a gesture you thought was affectionate turn into the reason your beloved dog ends up afraid of you forever. Has your dog ever startled when woken up? Share that moment. Someone out there might need to hear it to avoid making the same mistake. But sometimes, it's not about touching a sleeping dog, it's about scolding them at the wrong moment. Section 4: Scolding without catching them in the act. You think you're disciplining, but to your dog, you're just lashing out for no reason. Dogs can't connect past actions with your current emotions. If you discover they knocked over the trash a few hours ago, that event, in their mind, is long gone. When you get angry, yell, or scold them later, they don't understand why. All they see is, you're mad, and I'm the one getting punished. What's the result? Anxiety, fear, and no lesson learned at all. Don't let your attempts at training be the reason your dog thinks you're someone to fear. Have you ever seen your dog lower its head and tuck its ears back the moment you walked into a room? It might not even understand why you're upset. And if you think that scolding at the right time is all it takes, you'll be surprised to learn that dogs need rewards, far more than punishment. Section 5: Not praising your dog when it does the right thing. You're rushing out the door. Your dog sits quietly waiting for a command, but you forget the most important part. Dogs don't just learn from scolding, more importantly, they learn from praise. When your dog does the right thing, like sitting still, waiting by the door, or not bothering you, and you ignore it, leave the house without a glance or a good dog, the message they get is, I did the right thing, but it didn't matter. Over time, they'll lose interest in following commands, because there's nothing to look forward to except being overlooked. Don't let your silence be the first disappointment of your dog's day. Do you remember the last time you praised your dog for doing something right? But sometimes, it's not that you forgot to praise them, it's that you took away their reward before they were ready to let it go. Section 6. Taking away a toy before your dog is done playing. You reach down to grab a toy, but your dog lets out a low growl and turns away. What's going on? Dogs are like children. When they have something they love, they want to fully enjoy that moment. If you often take toys away while your dog is still engaged, you're reinforcing a hidden fear. The things I love, humans will take from me. This can quickly lead to possessive behavior. Dogs start hiding their toys, growling, or even reacting aggressively when you come near. Don't let a thoughtless gesture make your dog start thinking, I need to protect everything from the one I love. Has your dog ever growled when you got near its toy or food? How did you handle it? But sometimes, the issue isn't the object itself, it's how you train, especially when you rush the process. Section 7. Poor training that leaves your dog confused. You spend an entire session teaching your dog to sit, but at the park, you call out repeatedly and it won't budge. Why? Humans learn through language, but for dogs, context, your gaze, tone of voice, even the position of the room, all play a role in how they learn. When you teach your dog to sit in the living room, they're not just learning, sit means sit. They're learning. Sit when I hear that word. See your hand gesture. Stand near the orange chair. In a quiet house, change the environment, like moving to a park, and all those cues are different. Your dog might not recognize the lesson at all. If you get angry in that moment, you're only creating anxiety, not faster learning. Don't let a moment of frustration make your dog stop wanting to learn from you. Have you ever trained your dog well at home, only for them to forget everything outside? How did you react? And if you've ever rewarded quickly when your dog did well, be careful how you give that reward. Sometimes the way you deliver it makes them feel like they didn't get anything at all. Section 8. Tossing treats the wrong way makes your dog feel unworthy. You just gave your dog a treat, but it sits quietly, eyes sad, as if it never got anything at all. Dogs are great at spotting moving objects, but they struggle with still ones, especially if you toss the treat outside their line of sight. Long-nosed breeds like collies, Dobermans, or greyhounds have an even harder time, as their snouts block their direct view. When you throw a treat beyond their vision, they don't see it, and not knowing any better, they just feel, I did the right thing, but got nothing. Over time, they may stop trying altogether. Don't let a single misaimed toss make your dog think you stopped loving them. Have you ever seen your dog look at you like, wait, did I do something wrong? Even though they did everything right? And when a dog starts believing they never do anything right, you'll be surprised how quickly they begin to avoid every call you make. Section 9. Forcing your dog to interact with strangers when it doesn't want to. Guests arrive, you open the door, and your dog backs deep under the table, but you still try to pull it out because the guests love dogs. Not every dog enjoys being social. For many, strangers are threats, and their familiar space, the home, is their only safe haven. When you force your dog out to meet new people, or ask strangers to pet it while it's scared, you're stripping away its sense of safety. Worse, your dog might start associating anyone who enters the house with stress, potentially developing long-term social anxiety. Don't let a moment of trying to show off your dog to friends become a lifelong trauma for your pet. Is your dog afraid of strangers? If so, have you ever tried letting it decide for itself whether to interact? And if you think your dog will feel better being put in the crate, be cautious how you use that crate. Section 10. Turning the safe crate into a prison cell. You want your dog to rest in its crate, but every time you call it in, it avoids you like it's being punished. A crate, when used properly, is a personal den where your dog can feel safe, calm, and shielded from outside stress. But if you regularly send your dog there whenever you're upset, you're unknowingly teaching it, crate equals punishment zone. Next time, even if all you want is for your dog to nap or relax there, it'll still carry that lingering fear and anxiety, and the crate will no longer be a place of comfort. Don't let what should be your dog's cozy little home become the dark corner it curls up in out of fear. Do you use a crate for your dog? When do you usually ask it to go in, and how does it react? And if you think simply avoiding punishment is enough, the next thing might chill you. Because even the smallest indifference can leave a lasting scar. Section 11. Pushing your dog away when it shows affection. You're in an online meeting. Your dog jumps into your lap. You frown and push it down, and that moment might be the last time it tries. Dogs can't say, "I love you," in words, but they express it through their eyes, by pressing against you, licking your face, or simply lying close to your feet when you're tired. When you constantly push them away, snap, or show annoyance, your dog learns one thing: my affection isn't welcome. They don't get angry with you, but slowly, they'll withdraw, come near you less, touch you less, and eventually stop showing love altogether. Don't let a fleeting moment of frustration take away the warm cuddles you'll one day long to have back. When does your dog usually show affection? Have you ever noticed it, saying "I love you," in its own unique way? But if you think just not pushing them away is enough, be careful with those seemingly harmless habits that can cause quiet emotional harm. Section 12. Teasing your dog equals betraying its trust. You pretend to throw the ball. Your dog takes off, then turns back, looking at you, confused, a little heartbroken. Unlike humans, dogs don't understand the concept of just joking. To them, things like fake throws, blowing in their face, or dressing them up in costumes aren't funny, they're confusing, uncomfortable, and embarrassing. The heartbreaking part? You are your dog's whole world, and if you repeatedly do things that upset them, they won't think you're joking, they'll think you're not trustworthy. Once that trust is broken, rebuilding it isn't easy. Don't trade a moment of laughter for a lifetime bond with a little heart that only wanted to trust you. Have you ever faked a ball throw? How long did it take for your dog to stop falling for it? And if you think rough play is bad enough, the next behavior might be the very reason your dog panics every time you leave the house. Section 13. Taking your dog to crowded places before it's ready. You want your dog to make friends, but all it wants is to disappear from that park. For humans, a dog park is a great place to relax, chat, and let pets socialize. But to a dog, dozens of unfamiliar scents, loud barking, and strange animals rushing toward them can feel like an emotional storm. Dogs can smell stress, sense tension you can't, and if you're too busy talking to notice, your dog might already be in endure mode for 20 minutes straight. Signs like heavy panting, tucked tail, or trying to retreat are silent cries of, "Please help me," and if you miss them, your dog may eventually learn not to trust you in moments of panic. Don't let your joy become a quiet nightmare your dog is forced to endure alone. What was your dog's first visit to the park like? Do you think it really enjoyed it, or was it just putting up with it for your sake? And if you've ever scolded your dog while it was panicking, it might be time to rethink how you respond when it needs your protection most. Section 14. Scolding instinctive behavior without understanding the fear behind it. You think you're correcting bad behavior, but in truth, you're making your dog more afraid of *you than the thing it was scared of. Barking loudly, chewing things, peeing in the wrong place, they might seem like mischief. But for many dogs, these are desperate outlets to release stress. Cries for help, ways of saying, "I'm overwhelmed." When you scold, yell, or punish, you're not guiding or healing. You're burying that emotion even deeper. The behavior doesn't go away, it just becomes quiet, hidden, like a sad child too afraid to speak up anymore. Don't let every time you scold your dog be a lesson that says, feeling emotions means punishment. Are you really scolding a behavior, or are you punishing the anxiety your dog doesn't know how to express? And sometimes, it's not about scolding at all, it's the way you constantly overlook your dog's small signals, letting every hurt silently pile up over time. Section 15. Ignoring your dog's subtle signs of stress. Your dog just licked its nose, turned its head, and let out a yawn. You think it's sleepy, but it might be crying for help. Dogs have their own body language, and most signs of "I'm stressed" are subtle: frequent nose licking, looking away, scratching without reason, yawning when not tired. But we humans often miss them. Worse, we keep doing what's stressing them, hugging tighter, snapping more photos, or pulling them closer. Each time that happens, your dog's brain records, "I tried to speak, but they didn't listen," and eventually, they'll stop giving early warnings and go straight to stronger reactions. Don't wait until your dog growls to realize you should have been listening from the first subtle signal. Have you ever seen your dog yawn or turn its head when strangers approach? Did you think it was just relaxing, or maybe feeling uneasy? And sometimes, it's not even about doing something wrong, it's simply forgetting to give your dog a little quality time each day. Section 16. Not spending quality time with your dog every day. You live with your dog every day, but when was the last time you were truly present with them? Dogs don't count time in hours, they measure it through genuine presence. You might be home for 10 hours, but if your eyes are glued to a screen, with no talking, no playing to your dog, it feels like you were completely absent. They don't need much, just 15 minutes of real eye contact on a walk, an evening of tug of war, or simply sitting together while you pet them without checking your phone. That's more than enough to fill their little heart. When these moments are missing for too long, dogs begin to feel forgotten and slowly withdraw emotionally. Don't wait until your dog stops running to greet you to realize you've been drifting apart for a while. What's the most special time of day between you and your dog? Share it. Your way might inspire others too. Because there are things dogs can't say out loud, so if you truly love them, you have to listen with your heart. Now you know, what seems small to you can mean the world to a dog's heart. Because love, for dogs, doesn't lie in words, it lives in every glance, every touch, every moment you choose to truly be there with them. Be the one your dog can always trust, every single day. In the next video, you'll discover why dogs love to press their bodies against your heart when they sleep, and what that really reveals about the invisible bond between you two. But for now, tell me this: has your dog ever forgiven you for something? If this video helped you understand your dog better, stick around. There's so much more warmth waiting to be shared.